Atlanta, that's right. It's the final day of the regular matches of Stage 3, and we're kicking it off here at the Cobb Energy Center in Atlanta, Georgia. Joe and Monte Cristo with you here for a great set of matches on the old Overwatch League. And we got a great one to kick it off today. It's going to be Shanghai Dragons versus Philadelphia Fusion, a win and you're in situation for the Stage 3 playoffs. I can't wait. It's going to be a good day of Overwatch, isn't it?
Yeah, it will, and we've started to see the redemption of the Philadelphia Fusion this stage, looking like they might be able to be competitive, especially if we see Carpe on that Widowmaker in Shanghai, because they took that unexpected loss yesterday to the Guangzhou Charge, are now in a situation where they have to win to be in the Stage 3 playoffs.
Yep, that's right. Kind of a surprising loss to the Charge yesterday, but Happy popped off, and as you can see, only one spot to be decided in the Stage 3 standings. Fusion has a chance to overtake the Dragons and take that 8th spot in the playoffs next week. Dragons could hold on to it.
And it is worth noting that whoever takes this spot will be in that 8th position. There is not a chance to move higher than that.
Yes.
So the winner today will most likely, depending on the outcome of the NYXL's last match today, be facing New York when we expect them to take that win.
Which is going to be interesting because New York has had some surprising results in stage playoffs, but you know, maybe they're going to do a little bit better next week. Who knows? It's New York. It's hard to tell. But one of the coolest things about this match today is going to be the matchup between the DPS players on either side. Old friends Carpe and Diem. It's going to be fun to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, it's absolutely going to be very interesting, especially given the history of these players.
Yeah, that's right. We've got a little bit more info about that history, which should be cool to see.
잘 지냈어 얘들아? 네. 자 인터뷰하러 가자. 카르페 선수와 DM 선수, 현재님과 질겨라님 두 분 모시겠는데 학창 시절 때부터 그러면 두 분은 원래 친했나요?
아마 중학교 때였었던 것 같은데 그때 이제 만나서 같이 게임을 엄청 많이 했어요. 사실 카운터 스트라이크를 좀 많이 하다가 잠깐 접고 오버워치를 할 때 얘가 시작한 지를 잘 모르고 있었는데
경기전에서 적으로 만났을 때 그때 이제 제 맥클이 좀 두드려 맞고 맥클이 좀 좋아 보이는데 하고 그때부터 이제 힐트 스캔으로 바꾼 걸로 알아요 저는.
왜 카르페랑 DM이라는 이름으로 활동을 하시게 되셨는지.
저희 둘 다 프로게이머를 하려고 하면서 닉네임을 만들려 했는데 처음에는 학교 다닐 때 봤던 그런 문구인데 장난 반 진담 반으로 이제 프로게이머가 설마 되겠어 하면서 닉네임을 맞추자 해서 카르페 DM을 선택했어요.
그럼 처음 교류가 언제예요?
이 친구가 마이티 AOD에 들어가고 그리고 저는 BK 스타즈에 있고 에이펙스 아마 시즌 3였을 거예요. 그때 이제 처음 만났어요.
공부 잘하게 생겨가지고 게임이랑 좀 거리가 먼데라는 생각을 먼저 했죠.
저는 처음 봤을 때 일단 키가 커서 좀 놀랐어요. 작을 줄 알았는데 저만 할 줄 알았는데 좀 키가 커가지고.
서로 맞붙은 적도 있나요? 에이펙스 때?
없지 않나?
없고.
아쉽게 됐네.
네, 아쉽게 된 거죠.
아쉽게 된 거네.
네.
제가 이겼어요.
그리고 제가 또 두 분의 또 그 끈끈한 우정을 테스트를 하기 위해 간단한 게임을 준비를 해왔어요. 제가 질문을 할 텐데요. 3, 2, 1 하면 같은 걸 쓰면 됩니다. 알겠죠?
네.
첫 번째 질문. 카르페 선수가 제일 좋아하는 음식은?
오케이.
자, 준비, 시작.
이미 망했어요.
3, 2, 1. 삼겹살, 햄버거. 하나 틀렸네요.
아쉽다. 같은 곡이었는데.
첫 단추부터 이렇게 어긋나기 시작합니다. 두 번째 질문. DM 선수가 보너스를 받았어요. 그 돈으로 제일 먼저 사는 게 무엇일까?
오케이.
자,
맞춘 것 같아요.
3, 2, 1, 고!
비슷해.
비슷해?
아, 비슷해요. 컴퓨터
오.
앤 게임.
오케이.
너 한국에 컴퓨터 없잖아. 샀나?
있어. 우리 형아가 샀어.
아, 컴퓨터가 원래 한국에 없었어?
네.
하나 사주지, 친구인데.
저번에 얘기했거든요.
아, 사준다고?
얘 중국에서 데뷔할 때 한국에 컴퓨터 없다 해서.
나 사주면 안 돼?
방송도 하잖아요.
자, 세 번째 질문 갈게요. DM 선수가 오버워치 영웅 한 명과 하루를 보낼 수 있다면 실제로 누구와 보낼 것 같습니까? 카르페 선수. 이거 못 맞추면 진짜 니들은 친구도 아니야.
아이고.
자, 답 써주세요. 자, here we go. 자, 3, 2, 1. 아무래도 처음
그죠.
주캐가 이제 맥클이었고 여기는 뭐야? 왜 위도우야? 외롭구나.
잘하는 게 이건인가.
자, 아무튼 어떠셨나요? 인터뷰 좀 재밌었나요? 네. 10년, 20년, 30년 죽을 때까지 계속 좋은 친구로 남으셨으면 좋을 것 같아요. 인터뷰 주셔서 감사합니다. 가자. 오케이. 가자. 아이고, 뭐 먹을래? 밥 먹을래?
So how cool is that, right? These guys meet up, play a lot of games together. Now here they are facing off in the Overwatch League, and they're both extremely good hit scan DPS players. So it's going to be a great matchup for us. Let's take a look at the stats between these two guys. Right now, Diem may be having a little bit of the better end of things, but I think it's going to be pretty even when it actually gets in game.
Yeah, worth noting that Diem has played a lot more Widowmaker, and he actually didn't fare too great against Happy yesterday in that 1v1, even though he's been arguably overall, if we look at this stage, the best Widowmaker player that we have in this league. But this is really fun because we see the Philadelphia and Shanghai in different divisions. So the first time they're going to be meeting in the regular season, it's a very intriguing matchup for sure.
It should be awesome. I'm ready to get things started. How about you? I'm not going to wait for you to answer. I'm just going to do it. Let's introduce our first team. Give it up for the Philadelphia Fusion. And of course, Carpe leading the way and perhaps starting to lead his team to another overall season playoffs. They've got a big mountain to climb, though. It's been a rough season so far, a bit for Philadelphia, hasn't it?
It has, but they're still 12-8, so they're well in position to at least make the play-ins. It would take, I think, kind of a catastrophic collapse for them, especially since they are in what we would consider the easier division in the Atlantic side.
Definitely.
So they should be able, you would think, to make the overall season playoffs, but will they make the finals again? They need to get back into that peak form.
Yep, that's right. A chance here to take that Stage 3 playoff spot from the other team, their enemies, their opponents in this series. Let's hear it for the Shanghai Dragons. It's a new year, it's a new Shanghai Dragons, and this roster has come to play. They are looking really scary right now, and I frankly would be very surprised if we didn't see them next week in the Stage 3 playoffs.
DM walking up on stage, of course, a little showboating for the crowd.
I love it.
And what I love about both of these teams is they're really powered by their DPS players. When we look at DM and Ding versus Carpe and EQO, it's one of the most exciting DPS matchups I think we can have in the Overwatch League.
Yeah, absolutely. And now that the meta is starting to shift and we're seeing those more DPS-centric compositions, it's really time for these guys to shine. And I think, despite what the teams want to play strategically, both teams know they want to give Carpe and Diem that 1v1 on the Widow. We got to see that. We got to see it.
We need to see it. That is definitely the premier matchup here. But don't forget about Ding and EQO as well. Two of the best Pharah players. EQO has been doing great on Pharah in their last few matches. And Ding, one of the Pharah masters that we have in OWL.
And I swear, if they don't do the Widow v Widow, I'm going to go down the stage and change the heroes myself. I promise you that. We're doing it. There is Diem. Of course, the other half of Carpe Diem. There's Carpe, the first half of Carpe Diem. There we go.
Did in reverse, Diem
exactly.
Carpe.
Diem Carpe, Carpe Diem, whatever. We'll see who ends on top of that phrase today after the 1v1. And what an exciting match, too. Again, like they're playing for that spot in the Stage 3 playoffs.
Yeah, it's a great matchup. And in Latin, though, it actually doesn't matter which one is first, because nouns are declined, so you can put them in any order you want.
Oh, of course. Everyone knows nouns are declined in Latin. I knew that.
I know you did.
I'm not making that up at all.
You're a Latin expert.
Of course, yeah. I always just say carpe Latin, right?
Exactly.
Seize the Latin, as you do. Well, we're going to our control map first. There's Poco, of course. We've seen so many good Poco bombs from him this season. Maybe not as many as last season, but he's still got it in him. He's still got those angles for the self-destructs that not a lot of other people find. Let's take a look at the DPS players again, though. Ding versus EQO this time. The other part of that DPS lineup for both of these teams, you mentioned the Pharah earlier, but their stats overall on Pharah kind of gives Ding a little bit of the edge here in most categories.
Well, I mean, if we look at Ding, he also just has much more play time than EQO on the Pharah. As you can see, 109 minutes to 47 minutes, so a decent amount of time for EQO. But the strategies that the Shanghai Dragons have run this stage have been really centric on the Pharah play of Ding.
Our map set brought to you by Toyota. Let's see where these guys are going today. We're going to start things off on Ilios for control. Volskaya Industries will be our assault map. Hollywood for hybrid. And finally, Dorado for the escort map. Should be a good series, and if we need it, and I hope we need it, that 5th and final tiebreaker map. No more talk, let's get into it. It's Ilios, it's our control map. It's the first match of the day here at the Overwatch League on our final day of Stage 3 regular matches. Couldn't think of a better place to do it than Atlanta, Georgia. We'll see who can take the first round here on Ilios.
Ding on his signature Pharah pick to start things off as we see Envy, the newest addition to the Dragons lineup, and that is a great dive right there, set up, coordinated by Sato and Carpe.
Insta-get, man, a little bit distraction from the Sombra, and then Winston from above to Mario stomp him into the ground. He was a Goomba in that scenario. DM with the escape here. Looking around for the shot. Carpe on the Sombra, so we're not getting the Widow v Widow this time, but Carpe getting the kills. One on Envy. DM shut down by Sato. Philadelphia Fusion trying to retake quick, and they do. Only 7% achieved by the Dragon so far. Whoa! The translocate into the hack attempt.
Didn't quite get it. Didn't quite get it, but it is fun grounding that Pharah if you can manage to hit it. And Philadelphia Fusion, you'd have to think that they are going to match up well against these DPS comps that Shanghai likes to run because they've been best when playing the Winston for Sato.
Right. Here, Nano Boost coming in. Meanwhile, Ding drops a barrage. Sleep Dart. No kills out of that one. Meanwhile, Sato with that Nano Boost trying to jump in onto DM. Gets the kill there. And Philadelphia Fusion doing a pretty solid job defending the point so far.
Look at that. Coma taken down by Neptuno to end it. And now DM going to make the swap over. So we may see some wholesale changes here coming in for the Shanghai Dragons. They may be going with the 3-2-1 composition. They're not going to sacrifice Envy's EMP, but they will drop the Diva. They do not need it against the Philadelphia Fusion.
It's a prudent time to change, too. I mean, this is a situation where you've theoretically got time to build an ultimate or two, get that grab online. Carpe with another hack onto Luffy there, and Luffy in trouble trying to make it back to his team. Can't quite do it, but Carpe's got that EMP now. DM gets slept. Oh, this is looking dangerous for the Dragons. Get detected, but is he going to use it? Oh, the hack comes in, though. Carpe with the EMP instead. Gamsu still gets 2 kills in the end, though. Maybe Sato can try to equalize. He got one on Luffy. Poco demeched. Gamsu in a little bit of trouble. Whoa, you better be happy that that leap cooldown is a lot shorter in Primal Rage because Sato was about to go off the edge. Instead, he takes down Coma. They lose Poco in the process, but Sato standing strong with a couple uppercuts to seal the deal for Philly in that fight.
They're trying to chase him down right now, see if you can get any of the supports on the exit. DM trying to reset. Didn't get much of an ult charge off of that last push, and now just a brief flip for the Shanghai Dragons, who have been dominated by Philly's excellent dive. This is how they made a name for themselves last year. Their dive coordination was exceptional.
EMP, Carpe trying to finish it up. One more fight will do it for Philly on this point. Gamsu a little bit low, and he gets anti-heal. No one's in the point! You gotta get to the point!
I mean, nobody could get there, Doa. The EMP had just been used. All of their movement abilities were locked down. So you just couldn't. They had too much space between them and the point in order to get there just by walking.
Well, a solid lead for the Philadelphia Fusion here on Ilios. Poco looks pretty pleased with that one.
He definitely does.
Who wouldn't be? Sato, really kind of the hero at the end there, kind of turning around that fight. That could have been a point flip for Shanghai, too.
Well, if you think about Sato and Carpe, these guys really love playing together, and you could see that synergy when Carpe is on the Sombra. He gets into position, calls Sato in on the leap, and basically Shanghai needs to do a much better job of protecting Luffy right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Their back line is getting crushed.
Yeah, the dive on Luffy was very, very good. Here we go on Well. This time, loss of environmental kill opportunities. Ding back on the Pharah again. They're going to try it. Ooh, DM looking for a shot with that Widowmaker. Takes a chunk out of Sato.
That big chunk. They're trying to isolate the healing right now. So Sato is actually chunked out, and he's not in line of sight because they're getting herded by this Pharah.
Yeah.
And Sleep Dart onto him, so he's having a lot of trouble. Finally gets the heals he needs.
But Poco taken out by Gamsu now. Perhaps knocked off the edge here. Meanwhile, Ding down to sub 50 health, but he stays alive. DM looking for more shots now. Finds one on Sato. Neptuno already down. Shanghai Dragons, they lost Ding. Nice shot by Boombox, but they've got control of the point early on.
And they're also going to stagger some kills here, especially the Zarya is going to be the next one. Can he get out? Does have the bubble and the defense matrix to make a retreat. Carpe.
Oh, body blocked a little bit by the Diva there. Poco helping him out, but he can't keep him alive. Envy in the end picks up that kill.
Yeah, they thought they could get him out because he had the bubble and Poco had returned with the defense matrix, but in the end they end up staggering worse than they would have otherwise. Carpe now making the transition.
So it's tough for Philly approaching her because if you take those big chunks of damage from the Pharah or the Widowmaker, it takes a long time to heal with Zen and Lucio because you're not going to be getting that healing from Brigitte because you're not into the action. So those big early chunks of damage from the DPS on Shanghai are making a big difference.
Yeah, I don't think this is really an ideal composition. You have to be assertive and use the Lucio speed boost to get onto their supports. EMP is here.
Well, got Sato, but hey, it resulted in a kill, so Envy will be happy with that one. Ding picking that one up in the end. Maybe Envy looking for a few more here. Shanghai Dragons, the point's getting flipped though. They gotta get back on there. Oh, barely steps on it in time. Can Philly maybe muscle their way into a point flip here? They're trying. They're so close, but Ding's got the barrage. Gets a good angle for it, could end it. Coma goes down. Boombox with another great pick on that Zen, but oh man.
The target selection from Dig and TM. One from the sky and one from the side with the sniper rifle. Gets the eliminations the Shanghai Dragons need, and they are just crushing here on Well.
So much pressure from these DPS. Like, they are operating at peak efficiency right now with these two guys here. And Philly was so close. They were like 98% towards flipping that point, and they couldn't do it. And now Shanghai Dragons close to taking the round and tying things up.
And Minefield here too should slow them down. They have a Valkyrie to sustain on the point. Looking good for Shanghai. Rally. They need to get that EMP online for Carpe.
Right, Gamsu's got the minefield. Look at this, 2 kills already from Shanghai. Yeah, you're not going to take it like this. That's not how it works. Oh, see ya. He maybe got out of there with the translocator, but it's not really going to matter too much. Carpe down now. Envy finishes him off. There goes Sato, and Shanghai Dragons are going to lock up round 2. DM showboating at the end, and we are all tied up here on Ilios.
DM is just so good on this Widowmaker, but it's also the assistance he's getting from the Pharah in the sky.
Yeah.
The 1-2 punch from the Shanghai Dragons will send us into the third and final point of Ilios Ruins.
I mean, it's great. And the thing is, I think this point is going to be a little bit better for Philly because you don't have to go through those narrow corridors where it's easier for the Widow and the Pharah to line up shots, spread out a little bit more, maybe avoid some of that damage coming in. We'll see what Philly's got in mind, though.
And I'm curious, this is a point that is definitely more used to seeing some 3-3 play from teams, and so what Philadelphia Fusion is going to go for. Shanghai says, no way. We're still going to go Wrecking Ball, Widow, Pharah, and Sombra.
I like it. I'm not complaining, man. More DPS the merrier, in my opinion, but it's going to be tough to get some of that damage through the shields now from the Reinhardt and the Zarya.
I mean, the advantage is if you get control of the point with the Shanghai comp. We see the Chengdu Hunters run similar compositions on Ruins, and it allows you to camp very far forward and control the choke point with the minefield.
That's a great point. Set up shop on top of the building if you can take the point early on. Point about to unlock. Fighting about to commence here. Shanghai Dragons trying to keep Philly locked down in that room. Nice bounce onto Sato, but they can't quite finish him. Again, looking for shots. Finds one. Sato so low and he gets anti-healed. They can't keep him up. Ding with the finishing blow. Great bio grenade from Luffy to secure that kill there.
This is a weird rotation. Philadelphia Fusion now stuck. They can send someone back to spawn camp Sato right now, and indeed Envy is heading back right now with the Wrecking Ball to try and hunt the monkey.
Yeah, exactly. They don't have a permit, but they don't care, man. They're going for it. Gamsu coming in. Sato in trouble now. He's swapped onto the Winston off of the Reinhardt, but he comes into the fight with half health right away. Team with the kill on the Boombox now. The Ana not safe. And Sato with like 1 HP, now 0. And they're saving ultimates as well. Ding still has that barrage. And it's skeet shooting as Poco gets popped out of the mech. Easy secure for the Dragons again.
Poco just a clay pitch in there.
Pretty much.
Taken out of the sky. Dig will deliver death from above onto Carpe.
No, it's justice from above. Justice.
Okay. Well, we haven't seen the justice yet.
Death,
That's
justice.
their next match, though, against Guangzhou.
Oh, that's true. There you go. Well, Philly's in a tough spot right now. They have to try to retake. They're nearing some ultimates, but Carpe's been taking a long time to get that Graviton Surge. The Zarya has not been doing a lot in this round yet. It's tricky. Whoa! DM, you're so good.
Just took off half the health, forced the bubble.
Yeah.
And now they have EMP. They're cutting everyone else off with the barrage, just trying to get as much percent as they can. They're playing the point, interestingly, but the minefield's still available. It's coming in.
Really a zoning ultimate. Ding, like no health left. Gamsu trying to stay safe. He's got the minefield as well. Trying to secure that point. Poco needs some healing. Big time has to escape. Sato slept for a moment too. All right, Gamsu comes through, tries to get the environmental kill on the Carpe. Ooh, he gotta get up there. Whoa, he does it! Putting the spin on the ball. You get a little bit of forward action when you do that ground pound, and that got him back on the edge. Close call there. No! Supportal combat Neptuno getting a big one, and finally Philly flip it.
Now I'm confused because Gamsu didn't use the minefield at the start of that fight when the EMP came in from Envy. I feel like there was really an opportunity there to combo with the EMP and hold on to that point. Instead, Philly Fusion, so efficient, just using the rally and holding on to everything else, so they could drag this one all the way back from 0%.
It's going to take him a little bit longer. Envy got hit with a good sleep dart from Boombox. That's going to delay the push another few percent. Philly with a lot of ultimates here. Like you said, they've got a chance to defend this efficiently for quite a while.
Yeah, just economy pushes now. Shanghai Dragons happy to play just in the neutral here.
A little bit of charge on the Carpe from putting that bubble on the Sato as he leapt in. Shanghai Dragons can play it a bit slower here. They only need to win one fight to win the map. Luffy gets a little bit of healing, but not enough. Poco finishes him off, and now Sato with that nano boost. Excuse me, keeping the rest of the Shanghai Dragons at bay.
Very nice play there from Sato. They only use the Primal Rage and the Nano, so keeping some of their most important ultimates and getting the rally back online. Crucial for the Fusion as they look to get this last 30%. They are looking like they are in good condition, especially because that's another delay with the sleep dart onto Ding. That's two sleep darts that have bought the Philadelphia Fusion maybe about 10%, which is significant.
Well, they're getting close to 80%, both teams now nearing that scenario where you win one fight and you win the map. We're tied up here on Ilios.
Oh, that's a huge
down.
Huge
what a pick! What a pick from Luffy. Shanghai gets the 6v5. Oh, the grab! The grab gets eaten by Envy. Clutch moves from Shanghai in the end. They lose Luffy, but they've got that sound barrier to try to win this fight. They're so close here, and they're on the verge of flipping it. Grab again, Sato down. Grab thrown in, keeping everybody at bay. Here comes a flip from Shanghai. A charge on the EQO, and the Dragons, I believe that they have just done it. Clutch moves in the end, and I don't know if anyone, looks like just Poco getting back to the point, gets booped, and he gets there. He's out of the mech already, though. Up to Strong, gets blocked, Poco down, great fire strike. Shatter comes in, blocked by the Zarya shield, but that time bank, that quick, is burning fast. Sato down, and that is going to be nearly it. EQO taken up by the self-destruct, and Philadelphia Fusion can't get there. Shanghai Dragons coming out clutch in the end. They want to keep that playoff spot.
Luffy, the absolute hero for that pick. That was such good ult economy from the Fusion to bring it back. If that pick doesn't happen, Fusion in a commanding lead. And then the E also on the Graviton, huge.
Quick break, and when we come back, we see if Philly can tie it up.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Resetting is just the opposite of the winnable call. It's letting your teammates know that even if maybe it looks good for one or two of them, you just know that maybe your position is so weak, or you see something going on that you just think, wow, the enemy really has won this team fight already.
The team wants to reset into the next fight rather than going at it one by one or losing and staggering themselves. So you want to reset completely just to get a good fight in for the next round.
Tough break for Fate. Rest of the team fall back, having lost their main tank.
It's better to just give up. Don't waste your ultimate. You know, save it for a fight that you're actually going to win. Save it for the next fight. Just reset.
Hey, there you go. We're back, getting ready for map number 2 between Philadelphia Fusion and the Shanghai Dragons. Shanghai coming up clutch at the end of Ilios. That was an exciting map, and it's only the beginning. I'm psyched, man. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah, that delete 2CP guy is going to be really sad because we're headed to Volskaya Industries.
I know.
I love Assault though. I think it's my favorite map type, especially at the professional level.
It is a fun one. I like 6v6 lockout elimination, but that's not even a competitive map type, so oh well. And look at this, Youngjin subbing in for Envy. Monty, what do you think that means?
I think this means it's Doomfist time.
I think so too.
Especially on Assault.
Yes. Could be great.
Yeah, lots of, obviously, Shanghai Dragons, you have Envy in, going to be more of the Diva player, also busting out the Sombra extensively in that last map type. When you have Youngjin, you're known for that Doomfist.
Oh, it'd be sick. I definitely take it. And the thing is, you can run that Hack Fist combo, right? The Sombra Doomfist. And we do see it pretty often on Volskaya.
Yeah, and especially because this point A is often a Widowmaker point. This may be the time we get the Widowmaker duel of our dreams.
Yes.
Carpe versus DM.
See it. Didn't really get to see it on Ilios. Exciting map regardless. Maybe now is the time. Philly team kind of look like referees, don't they?
Yeah.
Like, no, you can't referee your own match. It's not. It doesn't work that way, Carpe. I'm sorry. Volskaya Industries will be our next map. We are going to Assault, as we've been discussing a little bit here. A chance for Philadelphia to tie it up. Remember, right now, Shanghai sitting in that 8th place spot in the Stage 3 playoffs. Philly looking for a chance to knock them out with a win here today. Whoever wins this series goes to the Stage playoffs next week.
Yeah, and this time it will be triple DPS defensively with the Orisa Poco.
Okay.
Making the transition over to Sombra. And it looks like it will be a bunker buster attempt here by the Shanghai Dragons. They may make a swap depending on what they see.
There it is. The Youngjin Doomfist. Seen it in the past. He's pretty solid on this hero. Ding on the Sombra. So no Widow v Widow quite yet. DM on the Hanzo.
Yeah, we'll see if they make a change once they take a look at the composition.
Yeah, checking it out.
Sonic Arrow just went out to check for, so take a look here. And DM, of course, crowd cheering because they want the Widowmaker 1v1.
I prefer that. Oh, denied. Hey, well, I'll take a sniper. Oh, there it is. He's doing it. It's happening. Carpe versus DM, Widow versus Widow. It's time.
And Youngjin making the transition now to a pick composition with the Roadhog. So trying to get the Halt Hook combos and disrupt the Orisa barrier on the defense that they are running without that Roadhog.
The gun scope itself quivering with anticipation.
That's a nice...
Oh, Gamsu in trouble. Good bio grenade, yeah.
The nice sleep dart too, early on. Not going to get any pickup. Boombok's been on point with the sleep darts in this match today.
These halts are very scary for Shanghai to deal with as they try to advance here. And you can see, though, that high ground getting broken up a little bit there, having to back off. They know Shanghai's trying to come through the building, and that's to force Philly to find a new defensive point.
Yeah, they're going to come up onto the high ground right now, try and take that. They fly around the opposite side of that building. EQO going to get an air shot against Oma.
And Boombox with the ground to air against Sting, so the pharmacy eliminated by Philly early. Now Carpe lurking. One tick taken by Shanghai. You got to get on the point eventually. Carpe finds the headshot onto DM 1-0 so far in that Widow v Widow matchup. Meanwhile, Shanghai still trying to hang onto the point here. Carpe with some open shots. That's a nice hook on Dorado by Youngjin. That's another kill in favor of Shanghai. They are really getting close to taking point A here.
The respawn times right there.
Yeah, they got
really
it.
affecting the Shanghai Dragons' ability to play this point. But the problem is, even though Philadelphia had a player advantage, they couldn't get on the point because of the HP pools of the tanks from Shanghai.
Yeah.
Made it very difficult, combined with the Orisa shield when they're in that bunker. So Shanghai plays it patient, and they just wait for Youngjin's hook cooldowns to get the necessary pickoffs.
It's tough to kill that Roadhog too when he's got the cooldown up to take a breather, 50% damage reduction, all that healing.
Yeah,
Roadhog's hard to eliminate with this comp.
On a healing as well in there, so.
Yeah.
Shanghai's still going to roll with it, though. Lots of ultimates available for the Fusion. We'll see when that Infrasight is used.
Here it is. All right, looping around the side, trying to find that headshot. DM Exos Venomine out instead. There's the EMP coming in. Can they possibly follow it up? We'll see. Poco's EMP results in the kill onto Luffy. EQO finding one there. Koma uppercut to the face of Carpe. Shanghai gaining some ground here. Koma gets a res onto the Ana, crucial there. And now Ding finds air to air onto EQO. And Widow v Widow, Youngjin denies the kill. Carpe down. DM doesn't get to strike the blow, but Shanghai does get to take point B. And in the end, that's a little bit more important.
It really is, but Youngjin, the absolute hero, gets subbed in for this map and hits so many hooks. So even though the Philadelphia Fusion were getting the initial pickoffs, they just can't get through the wall of meat that is the tank line, and Youngjin hits the hooks when it matters.
Huge time bank for the Shanghai Dragons, 5:12 on the clock. We will see if Philly can catch up.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
The Shanghai Dragons really setting the pace on their attack on Volskaya Industries. Check that out, 5 minutes and 12 seconds in the time bank, crazy. And I know it's a bit of a walk, guys, but if you find yourselves in Burbank, California, go to the Blizzard Arena. See another Overwatch League game live and in person, just like many of you are doing right now. But hey, you can be in sunny California at the same time.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, always is a good time. Plus, we have our Los Angeles homestand at the end of stage 4. So another opportunity to come to one of these big crowd events if you are in Southern California.
Yep. Or if you're here in Atlanta. We love coming and joining you here. Come and join us in California.
There you go.
Yeah. Philadelphia Fusion on the attack, checking things out a little bit first, sending in Poco. What do you think they're going to run?
It's interesting right now. The Wrecking Ball is actually hiding right outside. So Gom's right outside of the spawn right now. And they may not know what tank it is because they didn't see it. That was actually a very clever ploy.
Really tricky,
by the Shanghai Dragons. And so they don't know that there is a Wrecking Ball on the map right now, the Philadelphia Fusion.
And you know the timing, too, for that Sombra check if you're, like, watching the clock, right? So Philly coming out maybe a little bit more blind than usual here. Hard to tell.
Well, I think they think there's a reset because they're running that bunker buster, but now they're going to have to deal with the backline flank from the wrecking ball on the snipers. This is really clever play here from Shanghai.
Oh, that said, Youngjin a little bit of trouble on that Brigida, and Sato finds the gun to Luffy. Ding falls as well. Carpe with a headshot there. So despite the crafty ploys from Shanghai, Philly with the edge here on the attack so far. It'll be Widow waiting it out. Oh, Youngjin drops down. He's kind of on his own. Ooh, weird rotation from Youngjin. That is dangerous, and he's going to go down. Wow, tried to walk through that building. I don't know about that. Gamsu low, nice little spread from Carpe to finish him off. Diem comes in for the revenge. 2K there. He's going to fall, but hey, from the depths of hell I strike at thee.
Gets the pick on the way out. Youngjin now making the swap over to the Roadhog and Gamsu to the Orisa. So Shanghai Dragons try to outsmart the Philadelphia Fusion, but Philadelphia stays together, and the rotation was just a little late from Shanghai to divide and conquer before they went through and into the cover of the building.
You played yourself.
They did.
Shanghai. I believe Carpe and Diem are 1-1 now in the actual Widow v Widow. A lot of interruptions from teammates. Oh, nice hook on Sato. Youngjin comes through again.
Quick start though onto Gamsu. He's by himself, does get the bio grenade from across the map.
All right, Poco about half health. Or rather, Gamsu a little bit about half health as Poco sneaks around on board with him on the Sombra right now.
Yeah, that pick was really important. And that's another one that is hugely important. The tank duo of Youngjin and Gamsu is working out great right now.
Dragon Strike comes through. Carpe with a kill on a Gamsu. Now EQO gets hooked. Takes a lot of damage. Goes down to the left click from Youngjin despite the hack. That left click still doing a lot of damage.
Youngjin is just carrying right now. This is ridiculous from Youngjin, what he's been able to accomplish on this Roadhog. How much he's been able to delay, but it might not be enough.
I was going to say, that said, Carpe coming out with 2 kills right there. Luffy comes in for the res now. Diem versus Carpe, close range, and Carpe takes it. 2-1 so far. Carpe in the lead in the Widow v Widow. Carpe finds another pick on Tacoma as well, and Philadelphia Fusion on track to set just as fast a time. They do it 1 second faster, 5:13 to 5:12. We got ourselves a match.
This is why I love Assault at the professional level. I love set plays. I love the strategies that you see when players have time to reset, and this is what you get, a great map.
We go into extra innings when we come back. The game trolling me a little bit, taking 1 more second off the clock at the very end, and that means we are actually tied in time bank. I have never seen this before. 5:12 versus 5:12. Can you remember a time where you saw the time banks literally tied like that?
No.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's insane. And what a crazy time bank. They're both great for each of these teams. And I guess Shanghai Dragons attacking first again.
And we are going to see the same strategy from the Philadelphia Fusion. Shanghai Dragons, it worked for them the first time. Why not go ahead and try it again?
Yeah.
Youngjin on the Roadhog. They will make the swaps from Diem and Ding to get some more of the Widow v Widow sniper war. Carpe and Diem.
It's interesting too with Youngjin on the Roadhog. It does make the Sombra a lot more dangerous to play because it's really hard to get out of a hook. You know, you maybe mash the translocate button fast enough, but it makes it a lot more dangerous to harass the back lines than it normally is.
Also have to worry about sleep darts from Luffy. So
yeah, very true.
It's a perilous time to be a Sombra. High ground taken again, but okay.
Hello, you know, sometimes justice reigns from the doorway right behind you, you know? It happens.
Does happen sometimes. Nice hack on a Ding.
Yeah, got him. The roof sells a high ground. Poco trying to equalize, has to translocate out of there, though. Dangerous stuff. Shanghai Dragons already 1 tick on the point. Philadelphia Fusion have to find a way to get there. Nice air to air from Ding again. Neptuno pulling out the blaster. Run! He's dangerous. You do have to be afraid of Neptuno, but Ding having none of it. That is a blazingly fast point A from Shanghai.
At that time, it was Ding getting the initial pick. They read the position that Carpe was playing the first time. Now wholesale swaps. EQO on the Genji. Carpe on the Tracer, dive composition, trying to get onto the back line here of the Shanghai Dragons. They want to farm Youngjin at big, juicy, high HP target for some ults. He goes on a mission.
Genji Tracer, we're going kind of a dive style. Youngjin with a kill on the Poco right now. Good start for Shanghai. They've got a kick already. Sleep dart. Genji trying to dodge, but he's not as good of a ninja as he thinks he is. And Ding takes him down. They're so close, halfway through taking that, now dealing with the respawns. Nano Boost! Oh, but he got slept! A sleep dart comes in. Boombox Nano Boost going to waste, and now Sato just rolling around in rockets. You don't want to do that. No fun there. Neptuno, trying to take matters into his own hands, but DM finding the picks, and Shanghai Dragons with another insanely fast round. I can't believe these guys. This is crazy.
It was a bit of a desperation swap for the Philadelphia Fusion. They knew that their one shot at stopping the snowball was to pick off the supports, but they couldn't get it done. Youngjin was there playing defense, helping out the supports. We said they needed to make that adjustment from the first map of play. Make sure Luffy and Koma are protected.
Yeah.
And Youngjin took it into his own hands and provided the necessary cover.
I mean, anytime you make an opening for DM2, he's just going to start clicking heads, and that's exactly what he did at the end of that round. Still 3 minutes and 43 seconds left for Shanghai in their time bank. That's more than most teams get on their first attack, man. They've got 4 points already.
Yeah, that's right. If you make it through both points, you'd be lucky to have that time back. Now they've got 4, and as you say, still plenty of time.
Yeah.
And they can get more, too. Every time you take that point A, you get another 30 seconds.
So, Philadelphia Fusion with a chance to attack here and to equalize. They did get their attack done in the exact same amount of time that Shanghai did the first time around. See if they can equalize it. If they can, I'm going to lose my mind. EQ and Carpe going for the double sniper here for Philly this time around. Shanghai Dragons running the pharmacy again. That Ding Farah, though, has been doing work.
And Shanghai, no funny business. They're not going to play the Wrecking Ball because now they know Philly will know if they don't see a tank that the Wrecking Ball is there. So the element of surprise has been lost.
Yeah.
Poco is going to be looking around the side here. Does find the pharmacy combo. Sees what he needs to see. Is he looking for the Orisa? He is. Okay, looks like he will see it.
Spots it through the window maybe. We'll see if he swaps or not. Will it be? Yes, swapping over the Diva. Okay.
Yeah, they want a bunker bust now that they know the Orisa is here, and that means Boombox will be back on one of his longtime heroes, the Roadhog.
Yeah. So you've got the Diva for a little bit more damage mitigation too, trying to make it even tougher to break them once they get onto the point.
They're allowing Carpe here to try and set up a flanking position. The rest of the composition from Philly will be putting pressure onto the barrier.
Akoma takes a big shot from Carpe there. Gets healed up in the end. Hulk comes in, no kills on that one. Anti-heal on the Boombox and a grenade. Making it tough.
Really dangerous, but they didn't have the damage.
Yeah.
Because the Pharah was zoned out by the Widowmaker, so even though they get the hook and the anti-heal biotic grenade, they can't kill the Roadhog.
Yep.
But they can kill the...
Oh, Carpe! You looked at the wrong sniper, man. Carpe had you in his sights.
And they get a res here. They're looking for an opportunity.
That's not
a resurrection as they try and clear out the point, but Carpe has their number.
That's right, going low, trying to find one onto Koma. Boombox is going to finish him off with a headshot himself. Headshots across the board for Philly as they're going to take a very fast point A. Poco should have his mech back momentarily here too. Right about now.
Yeah, and they're not going to have a really great chance to snowball. So they probably want to poke in, use the supercharger to get some other ults online if they can.
Yeah.
Shanghai Dragons have nano boost, so they can play proactively, but not really a great nano boost target, especially if they swapped off the Pharah. They could go for the Roadhog.
All right, the supercharger, they're just going in with the Mercy, like the Mercy boost plus the supercharger. That's a ton of damage, but it doesn't matter if DM finds your head. Luffy down as well. DM finds another one. Eliminates Neptuno as well, getting chased down now, but the damage is done. Boombox goes in, pops a whole hog now, and you've got that beefy front line, but no healing means no front line.
Killing everyone though, Noah.
DM with 3 kills to deliver the defense for Shanghai, but Philly, they still get 2 ticks anyway. Boombox finally anti-healed, and he finally goes down. What a crazy first attack though for Philly, but they are going to end up with a lower time bank now.
And Luffy died at the start of that fight, so he didn't have a chance to use the nano boost, but the nano boost then allows them to come back. Ding receives the nano boost, and he's there as well with the anti-heal onto the Roadhog. So that survivability and that extra damage he got from the nano boost means that Ding can just walk up on the tanks, take them out and hold the point. 2 ticks taken, but Philadelphia Fusion now guaranteed at least a lower time bank.
Wow, Ding finds another one. The Hanzo v Hanzo. The other snipers having quite the duel as well. Whoa, Harisa!
The sleep!
To the moon!
The sleep on the Mercy!
Sleep card on the Ding as well. Neptuno, though, the big one there. Carpe finds a kill on the Ding. Self-destruct gets activated. Poco gets his mech back here, but Philly having to play it slow. They got to back away again.
Man, that was such a good read by Luffy. Neptuno had to take an aggressive position to try and get the resurrection. And he got slept, which prompted Philadelphia to try and make space with the bomb from Poco. Didn't work, though. And the faster respawns means Shanghai is going to hold.
Yeah. All right, another attack coming in from Philly. 2 minutes on the time bank. They only need one more tick. Another big shot on the boombox there. EQO takes a chunk as well. All right, Dragon Strike coming through. There's another Dragon Strike on the Shanghai side. Dragons everywhere. Neptuno down, though. DM with a big headshot. And now Kamsu with another one. Philly pushed back yet again. Oh, and they pulled in Poco, got the D-Mag headshot on the EQO. And DM and the Shanghai Dragons are absolutely picking apart the Philadelphia Fusion.
And they just look more comfortable with this composition. DM, he's warmed up now. And we also see Youngjin just winning the Roadhog battle. This is why they put him in for this map.
And check this out, the swaps from Philly. They're going 3-3. Boombox on the Moira this time. Carpe over the Zarya. Do you think they have time to build ultimates?
I mean, it's kind of a Hail Mary. They might have wanted to switch after the last push instead of this one. DM with an aggressive angle. He is dead behind them right now and looking for some supports.
My gosh, the shields aren't pointing that way. Still not really finding him yet. There's one on the Sato now. Poco getting a little bit low too. Sato doesn't know what direction to point his shield. Fire from both sides and Ding finishes him off. You're between a rocket and a sharp bullet place. Oh, headshot. I love it. DM, I can watch this guy all day. Philly in a lot of trouble now. Less than a minute remaining, and it's looking like they might not even take point B.
I mean, Shanghai makes a very smart tactical adjustment by saying, okay, if you're going to play 3-3, you have less mobility. Let's put DM behind. Then you have to turn your shields. What does that do? It opens you up to Youngjin's hooks. So not a great situation there for the Philadelphia Fusion. They get close to a coalescence, but that's all they're going to have.
Yep.
And that's not going to work very well. Infrasight up right now slows down the Philadelphia approach. They all have to get on this platform.
Youngjin Doomfist too. They know all they need to do to win the map is just get a pick, get in the back line, kill somebody, right? All right. DM on the side again. There's a fade from Moira. Barrage comes in. Carpe down. And Sato the 3K with Ding and the Barrage sealing the deal. 4 kills for the Pharah. Can he get even more? We'll see. It doesn't matter. The map is over. Shanghai Dragons with the 2-0 lead.
You may have wondered why they lost yesterday, but they certainly put a lot of prep into today, and it is showing Shanghai on the roll. It will be match point for them for the rest of this series.
Playing for that playoff spot. Halftime when we come back.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile. And by State Farm. Whatever life brings your way, State Farm is here to help life go right.
teams battling for the final Stage 3 playoff spot. And it all comes down to this match between the Fusions and the Dragons, who are up now 2-0 over the Fusion at the half. What's going on, everybody? Malik here at halftime. We got Zoe, Brent, and Sideshow as per usual. Guys, I'm not sure if it's snowing in Shanghai or not. It must be, because the snowballs in that last map were in abundance, to say the least.
Wow,
Shanghai, Shanghai, they're killing it so far in this game. But overall, it's just a very entertaining first half so far.
It really is, and I love that we got exactly what we wanted. We wanted to see those sniper duels. We wanted to see Ding going up against EQO. We wanted to see DM as well as Carpa facing off in that Widow battle. And at the very beginning, it didn't look like it. I was slightly worried that the Fusion going to stick to the triple tank, triple support, but eventually we got what we wanted. So I'm thrilled. I can't wait to see the second half.
Well, let's take a look at some of the highlights from that first half, some of the action. So we started off at Ilios. Lots of DPS in this match.
Yeah, I mean, what we saw, I think, the best coming out of the Philadelphia Fusion was when they kind of matched DPS a lot of the times against Shanghai Dragons.
Yeah.
We didn't see it too much to start here. I think playing around Carpe, they seem to be improving quite a bit in terms of running the Sombra itself, but Carpe still feels uncomfortable, is the word I would use, when it comes to playing not only the Sombra, but also his Zarya as well. I feel like he's not as comfortable on these heroes compared to a lot of other players in the league right now. But you got to talk about DM and Ding as well. These guys, again, phenomenal duo. Sideshow's favorite DPS players of all time.
They really are. And just watching this game has made me fall in love with them even more. I don't know how I could ever have not had faith in DM to absolutely freak out. I've rarely seen such an insane Widow performance as what we saw from DM. And it feels like Carpe's taking this match very personally. A lot of the angles don't make sense. A lot of the plays he's making are big hero plays. And on Volskaya in particular, he got punished really hard.
DM's in his head, man.
Yeah, I mean, he's taking this, but I completely agree with that. It feels like he is in his head.
Like, what's he doing?
What is he doing here?
I mean, to be fair, the fight was lost. But a lot of the times, you see him taking weird angles where he strays out. He's behind the shield, Brent. You can't put.
Look at this. He's behind the shield, Josh. What? This isn't where Carpe's supposed to play.
We have to talk about Youngjin here as well, though, because he on his Roadhog popped off like no other. I think at the end of their first attack round, he was at 80% hook accuracy, hit like 6 or something hooks in a row, which of course the team got a lot of kills out of. So a great team effort. Again, I love that we see so much coming out from Youngjin on that Roadhog, since we did criticize him a little bit yesterday.
Well, yeah, because, well, even earlier today, I think you have to absolutely pop off on the Roadhog, otherwise it can be an inferior composition. But Youngjin absolutely did that. He destroyed. But DM did as well. I mean, I just can't stop talking about DM, because the aim on this guy is absolutely outrageous. And look at these shots. Brent, look at these shots. Look, this goes through a corner. This goes through that little triangle.
I've seen shots like this before.
No, you haven't.
In my ranked games. Yeah, also yesterday, Happy out-widowed this dude. Yeah. And how ridiculous is that as an individual performance? DM was playing like this. He was still putting up ridiculous numbers.
Yeah, he was.
35% hit.
I don't know whether he was quite playing like this.
DM was playing better than he was yesterday.
No, yes, he was by the numbers, but he wasn't by what he's actually hitting. Like today, this performance is way better than when he played against the Guangzhou.
Yeah,
I think you guys need to settle this about that.
And it also comes down to how the team supports you too at the end of the day.
I'm disagreeing with Josh.
No, what? Just because he has a higher scoped critical hit accuracy yesterday?
If Happy was in this game in replacement of Carpe,
I like this. No, I love this. I love when they go back and forth.
They would be losing.
Guys, I have a question for you. How is Carpe faring in this matchup? What is he doing wrong, or how can he get back on par with DM in this matchup? Do you think he's been matching him for the most part?
doing pretty well, honestly.
Statistically, it looks like he's doing well.
I mean, he's winning the 1v1s.
No.
Yes, he is.
No.
Yes, he is.
It's not about that. He's getting picked off at terrible locations. He lost them point A in the time bank round. Like, he's one of the reasons that they're losing right now, because he gave up first pick by trying to make a weird flank.
Right.
Like, there are deaths in Overwatch that you can't allow to give up, and there are deaths where you're just kind of styling. Like, you win a 1v1, okay, then he gets res. Like, those are not important. The important ones are the ones that Carpe is losing.
I agree with you there. I mean, it is his aggressive positioning, but this is classic Carpe. This is what he does. He plays this reckless play style that can sometimes clutch.
Right.
I mean, this is why statistically last year they were the most clutch team.
But one can question if it's wise to do that in a match where your Stage 3 playoff hopes are hanging in balance. Right?
Yeah.
And with that, Josh, I believe you have a little insight for us, right?
Yes,
Take us deeper into this match.
Yes, because it's about Carpe and making those hero plays, but it was on a different hero. So instead of talking about the Widow, where it's a lot about flanks and the positioning and context, I want to break down a Zarya play from earlier. So this is insights powered by Intel. running through this scenario here. So I'll just run it through for you and you'll be able to get a feel for what happens. Carpe goes forward, tries to make the play, it gets eaten by Envy. But let's take a look at the setup in a little more context, and you'll see what the context surrounding this was. So there's a large play here that comes in from the Shanghai Dragons. They managed to get a real clutch pick. It's Luffy that manages to find this angle all the way through onto Boombox, and they find that. It's not too bad by Boombox. Maybe shouldn't quite be out in the open, but it's a great play. Now, what you'll see after that is that Carpe lunges forward, and he's going to hop over this wall and try and grab everybody to save the round for his team. But it's way too predictable. I'll wind it back to the beginning so that you can get to see again, but here he lunges in, and it gets eaten by Envy. So let me drag this all the way back to the beginning, and I'll show you perhaps what he should have done instead. Because when you're Carpe and you're trying to make this play, you know you have to make a big play. But if you just hop over the wall on your own like this, it's so obvious that Envy's going to eat this up. So what he should have done instead is looking at the ground and dropping like a right click instead. So if he just tries to fire with his alternate fire towards the ground, he's going to force out a defense matrix here from Envy, and it's going to bait it out, and he's going to go for the grab afterwards. But instead, he just kind of launches in the grab, tries to make the hero play, it doesn't work out, and they end up losing. Now, fantastic from Luffy to set that up in the first place, but Carpe making these kind of plays is going to hurt them in the long run. They need to be a bit more disciplined than that, I think.
I think that this is, I mean, it comes down to a point I made earlier, which was Carpe is uncomfortable, I think, on Zarya as a hero. He's never really got there regarding his play up to the same level as what his Widowmaker was known for last year.
So why in the world did both of you pick Philadelphia Fusion to win this?
Individually,
right now you just sound both like the biggest Shanghai Dragons fanboys I've ever had.
Okay, sure. But I assumed that Philadelphia were going to be playing more mirror matches and actually individually winning them as well. Also banked on DM not having a phenomenal game as he has been playing. I mean, Carpe, I still stand by the fact that Carpe has individually been outperforming him. But again, it's not statistically. I know. I agree with your point. Like it's about the reckless plays. Like even if he's winning these fights, if it's not going to win you the team fights, if he's getting the kills, it doesn't matter. They're useless kills at the end of the day.
Young Jin is also popping up.
You guys are so weird. You argue when you agree. It's so
I think he took it as an argument. Like I was arguing with him. I wasn't. I was agreeing with you. I was just providing
the tone makes the music, Bryn.
Going around this way.
Well, guys, let's take a quick look at the Stage 3 standings. Because, of course, as we know, this is a play-in match. And the Dragons, if they win, if the Fusion, if they win, they're in. It's do or die right now. We're going to take a look at the second half map. Zoe, what can the Fusion do to get back into this game?
I mean, the very next one is going to be Hollywood. And frankly, we have statistically not seen much from the Shanghai Dragons here. In fact, they're currently 0-4, whereas the Philadelphia Fusion are standing at 4-1. So this should be their map to win. However, I also know that the Fusion are a very emotional team. A lot of those players... They kind of crumble when they're down like that, even more so when it is such a close kind of game. So I do worry about them.
This map that we're coming onto, Hollywood, should be their bread and butter as well for Fusion.
You'd think so, yeah.
I mean, they love to play Shadow on Winston. They're going to be able to get the opportunity to do so here.
They will most likely go for a triple tank, triple composition, since that is one of the tanks which
or
lend themselves.
Sombra Goats as well.
Exactly, but also Ding can be playing that Pharah or the Hanzo if he chooses to. We most likely will be seeing Widowmaker coming out as well. So Shanghai, in theory, shouldn't be as bad on this map as they currently are.
I wonder what the chances are that we'll see some Wrecking Ball. We've had some crazy Wrecking Ball plays throughout the entire day. And there was one in particular that happened during Ilios that, Josh, I think you might have caught what happened here, but I don't know what happened, so please explain.
Yeah, this was amazing. We were discussing this in the back room. I mean, this is such an awesome save from Gamsu. His grappling hook is on cooldown, so he's not able to use that to get back up on top. So instead, I mean, what's it called, that ability?
The pile drive.
The pile drive, that's the one.
It's actually
pile drives like back upwards, which is nuts, because it does give you elevation. And because he's already got that forwards momentum and he's looking in that direction, and it's almost frame perfect in terms of how far he could fall and still get himself back up.
The fact that he has the presence of mind to realize that, oh darn, my grappling hook is on cooldown, I need to do something else to get back up. At that point, I'm just yelling and screaming and then falling.
Oh yeah, I would just power drive straight into the pit.
It's like a 6 Smash Brothers recovery. When I see that, that's exactly what that reminds me of, guys. Well, guys, Philadelphia, it is do or die for them. One more map. If they lose, they're not going to make it to the Stage 3 playoffs, and Shanghai is winning their end. We're going to find out if they're able to pull that off in just a bit. Stay tuned.
They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.
Welcome back from halftime, everybody. That's right, we are back, and the Shanghai Dragons are one map win away from securing that spot in the Stage 3 playoffs. That said, like the desk mentioned, Monty, we're going to Hollywood, and that is a map that Shanghai has not yet won this year.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to matter with the way the Shanghai Dragons are playing right now. They really seem like they're individually on fire, but certainly Philadelphia is no stranger to map 5s. They've been able to take us there consistently with this roster over the past 2 years, so we could be heading into the potential reverse sweep.
That is true, but man, you got to talk about DM, right? This guy has been absolutely dominating, and you have to mention Ding as well, the DPS players in Shanghai. Everybody, honestly, playing out of their minds right now, and not just in terms of mechanical skill, but also making the great decisions in game to kind of throw Philly for a loop. We take a look at our map list so far. It's been 2-0 for the Shanghai Dragons at this point. We're going to Hollywood and then Dorado after that, and if Philly can win those 2 maps, we'll see that 5th and final tiebreaker map.
It's been such a fun series so far. I kind of
really
am hoping it goes the distance. Would be very exciting to see Philadelphia Fusion try and run it all the way back.
Hey, I'm ready for anything, man. It's the last day of regular matches for Stage 3. Playoff spot on the line. Anything would happen, and it wouldn't surprise me. Philadelphia Fusion on the defense, Shanghai on the offense, thinking for a moment about going for the Sombra Doomfist. Will we see them do it? Ding scoping things out.
It looks like they may take a couple shots here. I would be surprised if they stuck with this into Winston 3-3, but they're going to go for it.
All right. I mean, hey, all you need is one pick, but yeah, you get shield bashed immediately. That would put the fear of Brigitte in my heart, and yep, Youngjin feels it too. He's going to back off.
Yeah, maybe if you saw the Reinhardt, you stick with the Sombra and the Doomfist, but you could just go for the Reinhardt 3-2-1 here. This is the Shanghai Dragons staple that they ran so much back in Stage 2. A comfortable composition for them.
Oh, that is a great start for Philly on the defense. I mean, obviously a team fight win, but look at how much ult charge Sato's been able to build up. 90% towards a Primal Rage in just that one defense.
Yeah, really good drop down. from the high ground there from the Philadelphia Fusion, able to get into the back line instantly. And the clumped up members of the Shanghai Dragons providing that ult charge from the Tesla cannon cleave.
Yeah, if you stay grouped up like that, you're going to give Winston his ultimate so quick. EQO close to the rally as well. Carpe takes a big shot early on.
There you go, Primal Rage online.
Yep, Luffy already down. Good kill for Boombox. Carpe finds a kill on the Gamsu as well. The Philly defense looking solid. A little bit of pressure on the point from Ding, but not even a tick taken by Shanghai just yet.
Did allow the rest of the Dragons to get out, though, because members had to turn back. So less ult charge gains by Philly, but that's extremely efficient. Boombox gets the elimination, and that means they don't have to use any of their ultimates to win that fight.
Sato going in again. He's been sitting on that Primal Rage for a little while. Again, the pressure from the back line. There's the Primal Rage. Sato finds some people in the room. Getting juggled around, forces a Transcendence out from Luffy, and that's going to mean they're going to rush the point. The hack comes in. There's the EMP on Sato. Not a lot of health left, and he can still swing away. Carpe and Sato go down. Gamsu finds the Fire Strike, and Diem's got the damage on the Zarya. 3 kills, make it 4, and they will take point A.
That was some excellent decision-making by Ding. He got the hack off onto Poco. Poco was a sitting duck, so Sato had to pop the Primal Rage earlier than they would have liked. Ding gets a setup then to hit all of the tanks of the Philadelphia Fusion with the hack. Carpe then can't use the Graviton Surge, focus down instantly, and Shanghai Dragons take point A.
Yeah, you've got a chance in Philly to get that early defense that teams like to do on point B, so we'll see if they can pull it off. Carpe, though, taking so much damage, they can jump on him. He uses the grab. Sound barrier from Shanghai as they respond. Carpe has to bounce away. They're going to lose Sato. Poco about to get demacked as well here. And do you think Philly maybe pushed the issue a little bit too much there?
They were split up, Doa, and there was still the sound barrier from the Dragons to keep everybody alive.
Oh, what a boop! A great boop from Coma, setting up Boombox to get killed here. I really thought he was going to die. I can't believe he actually made it into that door. It's a really nice attempt from Coma there.
Now they've got the Earth Shatter here for them. When they come through this choke point, you can see Gamsu. He's just threatening the Shatter on the flank right now.
Up below, there's the stun, and Gamsu down. EQO gets in there with the shield bash. That's big. Poco with the self-destruct as well, creating some space for Philly to get some defensive stability on the point.
Yeah, but look at this. They got so much movement on the payload, Doa. Still 3 minutes left, and they have that EMP. Neptuno's there with the sound barrier, but he's going to have to play hide and seek right now with the Sombra. Rest of Philadelphia Fusion. Elevator to the high ground for the tanks.
Carpe couldn't quite make it. Grab use. All right, interesting. Carpe with the kill on the Ding. As they try to finish off Shanghai Dragons, they get the 6v5 rallies on both sides. Carpe with 2 kills, and here comes the Shatter from Gamsu to try to turn it around, but it's not going to work out. I don't know, man. You're shattering after half your team's dead. That's kind of a bit of a reach for Shanghai there.
Well, Philadelphia Fusion playing that proactively, which is what you have to do. You know they have EMP, so why sit around and be just a sitting duck there when you can try and make the play before they have a chance to use their EMP?
Fair enough.
That's what happens. EMP still up, obviously, though, not wasted in the back half of that fight. And now DM also coming in with the Graviton Surge. Neptuno, how do you stop this? You have to make room with a nano boost.
Back on the Sato, it's a good start. Can they take advantage? Zarya shield comes in. Ding does get bashed for the moment. It has to translocate out. Luffy down. Sato finds him with a hammer anyway, and a nice Fire Strike kill as well. Sato, woo, got the nano boost, the charge in the end. I think he got 3 in that fight. That's crazy.
Yeah, the discipline of this ult economy has been great from the Fusion. They don't panic when Sato gets hacked. Instead, go ahead, give him the nano boost, and they maintain control over that sound barrier. But getting that sound barrier, this is going to be super difficult. Poco's going to have to use his self-destruct defensively on the Graviton, and they need to use the sound barrier once the EMP goes off. That is going to be the ideal sequence here.
Yeah, Shanghai has to play a good game behind these. Whoa, the Shatter! After the sleep dart on the Gamsu, Luffy jets in with the Transcendence to keep people alive, but now Sato in a little bit of trouble. The Shatter in reverse comes in from Gamsu. Boombox down, and what a turnaround that was. You can't blame Philly for going for it. They got the sleep dart into the Shatter, but they couldn't turn it into kills.
It was a clever flank by Boombox. They knew they were on the losing end of the ult economy battle, but honestly, they've squeezed a lot of time off this bank so far. So Philly Fusion playing some smart Overwatch right now, making sure they're sequencing their ults correctly, and they still have a chance here to make it out.
It's going to be difficult for Shanghai to take point C regardless. You're going to get a little bit more time at the end of B if you get it, but C is hard. Here we go, self-destruct from Poco, no kill, sound barrier though, drawn out by Coma, and maybe a chance now for Ding with the EMP, yep, gonna EMP a few members, sound barrier now for Philly, but that said, point B taken, Philadelphia Fusion got the payload there. In the end, they're gonna have those faster respawns.
Oh boy, I mean, right there, it was just the cart.
Yeah.
Coma just on the payload, and they didn't have anybody there, so it was a bit of a bamboozle from the Shanghai Dragons. Philadelphia Fusion siphoned off to the side, and so concerned with their ult economy, using the Graviton and the sound barrier efficiently, that they don't go after the objective. Poco makes it there just a second too late.
At the end of the day, the objective is the main point of the map. You got to stay on that payload if you're the defenders to stop that nano boost now for Sato as Philly goes on the defense going aggressive, but the grab holds them up, uses up a lot of that nano boost. Shatter comes in, gets blocked. Gatsu, no kills out of that one, but Neptuno is down. Shanghai with another kill here, and they're starting to push. Sato gets one, comes in for the Shatter. DM in a lot of trouble. They can't, oh, they can keep him alive. The bubble, barely in the nick of time. DM had to have like 10 health left.
Bubble, and it looked like the armor pack from Youngjin barely kept DM online through the focus fire of Sato and Carpe. Rally now up for the Philadelphia Fusion, but Shanghai will have one of their own and a Transcendence to try and finish this off.
Yep, Ding really close to building up another EMP. If he gets that, it could be enough to push the payload through to the end for Shanghai. Philadelphia just waiting out the rally right now.
Both rallies used, but it's all about this EMP. This is the push.
Yep. Got to throw that translocator in there. He's got it to get out. EMP used, only hits a few tanks. Ding down. Carpe has the grab, and this one's not getting eaten. Shanghai locked into that, but they're the ones getting the kills. Carpe down. Luffy on the payload, and now the rest of Shanghai goes to join him swinging. They've got the sound barrier as well, and Philly just cannot seem to hold it. They've got the respawn, but not enough people yet. Shatter comes in, and they get there anyway.
Did they get it before overtime?
Tough to say. We'll see if they did in a second, but either way, they get those 3 points.
Oh boy, that looked like I saw 0.1 seconds.
Check it out. Did they get it? We're looking at the clock right now.
0.1 seconds.
0.1 seconds remaining. Can't believe it. What a round. Philly attacks right after this.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
I cannot believe I'm saying this, but look at the time bank for Shanghai Dragons. 0.1 seconds, a tenth of a second left after the attack round. If you make it into overtime when you attack, and the other team still has time bank left, that means you don't get an attack round in the extra innings. So it is so crucial on hybrid to finish your push before time bank.
Yeah, it depends. Because there's less than a minute left in overtime 2, what will happen is Philadelphia Fusion can push it through, and Shanghai, they'll both end up with a minute right now, but still completing the map.
Finishes in overtime.
Yes, yeah. So it is a little bit confusing sometimes with these assault or hybrid maps, but we'll see what ends up happening here. Philadelphia Fusion 4-1 this season on Hollywood. Has been one of their best maps, and they're going to try and move in with Boombox on the Wrecking Ball. So
some swaps now, as Poco does of his scouting.
All right, yeah, Boombox now onto the Roadhog. So will be a bunker buster when they see the Shanghai Dragons are running the Junkrat with Yorisa, trying to bunker up in the cafe.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see how well Ding is able to do damage with this Junkrat too. It's gonna be interesting. Junkrat Roadhog combo. Of course, the tire can turn fights around in a hurry. Nice bio grenade on the Boombox to prevent the healing for a little while.
Now sleep dart as well.
And oh, there's a hook onto Sato. He's down. Carpe finds the kill into Youngjin though. Still maybe try to grind your way through this one.
Ding so close to a tire already, doing immense amounts of damage.
DM!
Oh, DM!
Carpe finds him in the 1v1 that time.
Well, he shouldn't have been on that flank right there, you have to say.
Yep.
The rest of the team falling back. Now they're going to have to pray for this Rip Tire to get online. And they're going to start pushing forward with the help of Neptuno's Valkyrie.
That's right. Ding's Rip Tire needs to be incredible. All right, he's going to use it now. It's got to be big. Goes in. Nothing. Nothing for the Rip Tire. Now the Shanghai Dragons are in a lot of trouble. That side, though, Ding does get to kill the Poco in the end after all.
Yeah, did enough damage to the tank line.
Oh, Sato down as well. Shanghai bringing it back on the defense.
No ticks taken either.
Headshot.
Carpe and DM in the back here. Zipping around.
Zipline shenanigans. Oh, hey, Gamsu. Oh, you can't tactical crouch after that. Gamsu ruined the duel. Come on, man.
The honorable 1v1 was ruined by Gamsu Yorisa.
That was Mortal Kombat. You can't interrupt that, Gamsu. What's DM doing? Like, yeah, my friend came and bailed me out. LOL.
Does seem a little cocky, though, because this is what I think Sancho was talking about at halftime. Like, run onto the point and reset. He basically just staggered himself right there, trying to make the hero play.
That is true. All right, Youngjin with the whole hog. Both teams, in fact, using that, just pushing each other away.
Nano Boost also used by Luffy. Supercharger still on the field. And Philadelphia going to try and push forward one more time with the Valkyrie.
Oh, the hook! The hook finds Coma. That's huge. That's huge for Philly. But now Ding can equalize. No! Carpe gets the tire, shoots it out of the air. Nice shot. Meanwhile, on to Gamsu. Youngjin down as well. And Philly starting to roll over this point. Despite losing Boombox, it's looking good. Yeah, Luffy just dying on the point, delaying as long as he can, but that is it. Point A will be taken and the payload will be moving for Philly.
Yeah, should see a lot of changes here for the composition coming through for the Shanghai Dragons. Boombox did get split spawned on the back spawn there, so will take him a bit of time to rejoin his teammates. Shanghai,
Carpe.
Rez gonna come
through. Okay. Venom Mine activated, but no extra kills. Feels so sad when somebody gets rezzed, immediately gets headshot again.
Interesting, so no swaps coming through. They are gonna play, it's like a mostly low ground defense after they fall here for the Shanghai Dragons. Lots of times we see more mobility tanks used, but they'll be happy to take the elevator up.
Dragon Strike, oh, hook on the Ding! Dragon Strike comes through as well from Philly, and they've got the 6v5 now. We'll get the final blow, and Coma, ooh, missed a headshot, close call there. EQO low, Youngjin found a hook, so Shanghai is halting the payload for the moment here.
Carpe's coming around on a long flank. He's trying to make a big play right now. He's up on top, behind the Shanghai Dragons.
Boombox finds another hook here. And the Widow duel again. Carpe though, but he's got Poco there to protect him. Looks for that shot, the team doesn't find it. Now everyone interrupting it. Let them duel. Trying to fight it out, but Carpe on the payload now comes in behind Gamsu. Looking everywhere, Youngjin though gets a 2K with the whole hog. Shanghai slowly grinding to a win in this fight. Neptuno's got the blaster out, by the way. He got the headshot there. Yeah, but it's gonna be Shanghai finally finished off here. Lots of kills for both sides. That payload is still not moving. Philly can't really push too hard with this. They're gonna touch it, but they need a lot of healing here.
Yeah, they do. They're going to get some healing from the payload, but absolutely right. A bit challenging for them with some chipped out tanks right now.
You know, you have that big exposed stomach. You're going to get hit by those sleep darts. Boombox taking a nap there. Doesn't seem to make a big difference, though.
And for side out with the supercharger, another big hook.
Man, the hooks have been crazy for both these guys. Another one! Poco popped out of the mech, and look at this. Philly just walks forward and rocks everybody's world. Carpe gets a 2K as well. That's how you do it. Point B taken in Philly with a lot of time on the clock. Oma barely gets out of position or gets out of sight. Ding hooked again. You get hooked into an uppercut from Mercy. That's got to be one of the most undignified ways to die as a DPS.
And yeah, Philly, they're looking good right now. 4-1 on this map for a reason. Now here in Point C, studio doors are open and the payload is moving. They're going to try and just leave Poco there to get some space, and they will swap over to the Reinhardt 3-3 in these confined Point Cs. A lot of times we do see these transitions, especially when Shanghai is moved.
Wow, Sato just charging right in there. Kills on a DM and Youngjin. Taking it to the enemy. Team Sato with the 3K. No hesitation, just slammed in there.
Well, when you see they're not running a diva, you can play aggressively around the biotic grenade. Philly realizes this. Boombox has been on point with the sleeps and the bio-nades today.
Yeah, no kidding.
And now Shanghai. No ults. This is going to be an interesting fight.
Close to a much better time bank. Let's see if Shanghai can hold them off. Poco going in there, trying to put the pressure on the Gamsu a little bit. He's nearly got his ultimate, dude. Ding in the back lines, trying to build that EMP. Gamsu shatters. He got anti-healed. He's in big trouble. Finally gets the healing he needs. No kills from the self-destruct, but now Sato, he's got the nano boost. He's getting the kills. DM finishes himself off. No one to block the Earth Shatter, and Philadelphia Fusion on the verge of pushing it over the line. Just the Transcendence and the rally preventing them from doing just that. But Luffy down. Can they take out Youngjin? I would imagine they can eventually, and that is it. They get it across the line with a lot of time remaining.
A minute 21, and that means that they are going to get some time added to their time bank here. So we'll see them up at 221 or 220, I guess, as it is rounding down.
Yeah, that's right. Time bank when we come back. Welcome back to Hollywood. As you can see, we've got 2:20 on the clock for Philadelphia, and Shanghai Dragons bumped up to a minute as they did finish before the time bank started, just barely before the time bank started for them. And they have less time in that time bank, so they will be attacking first.
That they will. So now Shanghai, because of that 0.1 seconds to get that attack round, ends up being pretty meaningful here. If they hadn't finished the map or they had finished at OT, we would not be in this situation.
Playoff spot on the line. Shanghai Dragons, if they win this map, they're going to the Stage 3 playoffs, but they've never won on Hollywood in 2019. It'd be tough. Philly with the big lead, too. Shanghai in the attack. Luffy immediately down. Great start for Philly on the defense. Although Sato down, looks like they might be able to maintain here.
I mean, if they can get out of this situation, they will have the faster respawns, and their insecurity. Ding dies late, EQO, getting behind and getting the stun. Sleep Dart gonna find a barrier.
Man, it's not looking good for Shanghai. They took so long, and oh, what a late kill on the Gamsu. When he comes back, there's only gonna be 10 seconds remaining, and if DM dies, it's probably all she wrote for Shanghai's attack. And Philly knows it. They're going for the stagger. Can they kill DM? Oh, he's barely still alive. They're trying. The bubble. They've got the push. Can anyone even get to the pavement, to the point right now? They can't. And Philadelphia will hold.
Well, Doa, it's not the end for the Dragons. Remember that they can draw here, and if they draw, they win the series. So all they have to do is hold out for 2 minutes and 20 seconds. If the Philadelphia Fusion cannot get a tick, 33% of that point, that means that the draw occurs and there will be no opportunity for Philadelphia Fusion to come back.
Yeah, Shanghai already with 2 map wins in this series. So if this map is a draw, the most Philly can get is 1. That'll mean the win for Shanghai. Carpe knows it. So despite the great hold, the pressure's still on for the Fusion here.
Not that much, though. They have more than double the time. They were successful on their first attack on A. Depends on how long. They're going to know Shanghai Dragons are basically doing the same thing with the Junkrat and the Roadhog.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Worked pretty well their first time around. See what they can do this time. Shanghai Dragons. Again, going with Ding on that Junkrat. Now, it didn't feel like the Junkrat did a whole lot on that first defense. I'm kind of surprised they're trying it again, but hey, if that's the game plan, that's the game plan, right?
Yeah, there were some early picks, though, from the Philadelphia Fusion. And Ding did get a pretty fast Riptire, but it didn't have the necessary effect. It demexed Poco, but Philadelphia Fusion still were able to grind out and use the faster respawns to chip away at the point.
Yeah, it's hard to make those Riptires work in Overwatch at the professional level right now. All the teams are just so good at killing them.
Especially Carpe is out there with the scope looking. Gonna pop him up in the air.
A nice little shot on Gamsu. Did have his Fortify up. Oh, EQO takes him down.
Here, Rez.
Yeah, the hook from Boombox. Rez comes in. Oh, no! You know what? Shanghai does not step on the point. Philadelphia just walks in and takes it.
They were focusing on the Rez. Gamsu was getting rezzed off the point.
Well, that's how you start a comeback. If you're Philadelphia Fusion, if they can win the next map, we're going to Game 5. What a series. Don't go anywhere. Map 4 when we come back.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Well, the comeback is real. Philadelphia Fusion winning it on Hollywood. Shanghai now 0-5 on that map for the year, and in the worst way possible, certified Charlie Niner at the end of that one. That was a rough way for that map to end, wasn't it?
I mean, basically, the first pick onto Gamsu was everything you could have wanted if you're playing one of those Bunker Buster comps with Double Sniper. Means the Orisa is not going to be there to provide the tankiness on the point, and you don't have the barrier to hide behind. So it's hard because you're in a sniper crossfire.
Yeah.
However, Youngjin did have a biotic grenade on him from his own team, so was getting that healing boost, and he did sort of run off the point into the cafe. Youngjin, no stranger to C9s this season.
Not really. Shanghai's had some pretty egregious ones, haven't they?
But it's one of those things, though, where it completely changes how you have the game, how you play the game, because in normal scenarios, what Youngjin did was fine, right? You want to wait for the res, and you want to stay out of the sniper sightlines, and it doesn't matter if you give up a tick under those circumstances because you can come back. But clearly, communication broke down right there. Nobody was going to get on that point, and Unfortunately for the Shanghai Dragons, they are not able to push through a draw, which would have led them to a match win, and instead they remain now on match point.
Yeah, and let's take a look at our maps. As you can see, Shanghai winning the first two, but Hollywood going the way of the Philadelphia Fusion. If they can win here on Dorado on our escort map, that means we're going to get that fifth and final tiebreaker map. I would not be opposed to that. Sounds like a pretty cool scenario to me.
I think it would be exciting for this match to go the distance.
Well, it is time to see if Shanghai can secure the series, secure their spot in the Stage 3 playoffs, or if Philadelphia Fusion will tie it up and send us to the tiebreaker series. They're on the defense first. See what they can do.
We're going to be playing with the Winston, the Pharah, and the Widowmaker, so pretty aggressive DPS defense here for the Philadelphia Fusion, but that's what we want to see. Shanghai Dragons back to what they've been running for a lot of the series. This time, though, DM on the hot.
Oh, hello. Sleep dart on the Sato immediately after the hook. Barely escapes. He doesn't escape. Gamsu finishes him off. And the payload's going to move.
And the halt was dragging him back in there at the end. So positional punishment, courtesy of Youngjin's Roadhog, which has been spectacular all day.
Ding finds the kill in the boombox, too. Philly's defense falling apart a little bit early here. Just the chaining of crowd control was so good. Like the hook into the sleep dart, into the halt. There was no escape for Sato.
And none of these kills have been resable either for the Fusion.
Yeah.
Fox died in the open in the marketplace, so not an opportunity for Neptuno to swoop down and revive his fallen teammate.
And the Widow 1v1 between DM and Carpe still ongoing. DM definitely with the better end of that one. Another kill on the boombox here. Luffy finishes off Sato. It's so dangerous. As a Winston, you want to jump in and do damage, but you can't jump into something like what Shanghai is running. It's crazy.
EQO can't get the finisher there, and the Mercy going to heal them up. Neptuno,
Neptuno
on the ground, does manage to dodge and weave around some rockets.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like Boombox had a chance there, but now taken out. There's Neptuno down. Ding finds another one. A little bit of revenge from Carpe at the end, but the point has already been taken.
Point is taken. They're just going to fish for hooks right now, see if they can get a stagger while the respawns come through. Not going to happen for the Shanghai Dragons.
Yep.
Carpe, though, has the infrasight. He's going to wait for his teammates now, get a little bit of healing, and then try and pop that ability. See if he comes around the side of the courthouse right now. DM is looking for him up there.
Yep. And Carpe as well. Definitely the pressure now. Ding finds the kill on the EQO. Hook comes in though on the boombox, barely escapes. He's in trouble though. Every time I say someone barely escapes, they die. I'm cursing them. I should just stop that. Sorry guys. Nobody barely escapes anymore. Sato does kill Gamsu. Rez comes in though, so Shanghai retreats a little bit, but now with the Mercy ultimate, maybe Koma can keep him in it right now.
Yeah, they are going to. They have the sustain for that Valkyrie. DM now pushing onto the high ground with Ding. They do leave Youngjin behind, but that is another late stagger onto Sato. Still a chance, though, for Philly with their 5 ultimates online to make another defense here.
They're going to make a stand anywhere. This is going to be it. Should be it. Got to be careful. That Widowmaker's looking for you. Ding, meanwhile, firing rockets into the doorway. Keep people at bay. There's a nano boost coming onto Sato as he goes in. Carpe with the kill on the Ding. Can DM defend his team here? Poker with the kill on the Youngjin. So now, finally, Philadelphia getting some picks.
Philadelphia's backline dive has been well coordinated today. That time it was a nano boosted Winston, but Boombox also threaded the biotic grenade in there.
Yeah.
So no healing possible. And that nano boost goes to work.
All right, so now Shanghai Dragons having to regroup and decide how they want to approach this payload again. Youngjin close to the whole hog. Sometimes you can just push the enemy team away and take points like that.
Yeah, especially when they're that close. Nearly got it to the end of B.
Right. So it could work. They're going to stick on it, it looks like. Ding has that barrage, too. Man, Carpe and EQO have just been hunting for him the entire time.
Looks like they are going to wrap around the flank here, take the high ground and drop down from behind the point. Ding providing cover. Nice job by EQO. Does get a direct hit. Carpe's there too. Wow, look at this crossfire.
I mean, that's the thing.
Carpe's not going to be on a good angle for this payload, though. He's going to have to walk forward. Does end up getting there.
Yeah, nobody wants to go back to deal with him, though. That's the thing. Oh, Koma down. Sato leaping through the air. The flying microwave to finish off the Mercy. And EQO with the barrage. Not a lot of health. Needs to be careful here. Sato down. Youngjin using that whole hog, but Gamsu is taken out. So I don't know, man. It's going to be so tough to push. Sleep Dart in anti-heal. Youngjin down in EQO. Gets slept, but the damage is done. Philadelphia Fusion continues to defend.
And they have that late elimination on a Luffy.
There we go.
Maybe you could get something out of this one, though. If they can escape, and DM barely does.
Doom kills Carpe as well. Whoa! Here comes a monkey. Youngjin over on the Doomfist now as the Shanghai Dragons have to change things up.
Winston coming in. Sato died with the Primal Rage up, was shredded by the Whole Hog. Now has an opportunity to use it.
He just did.
Yep, but the Nano Boost going to be difficult here for the Shanghai Dragons. How are they going to use this? Maybe onto Youngjin as he goes in.
Boombox, go the extra mile, keeping people healed. There's a Nano Boost on the EQO. Gets the kill on the Ding immediately before receiving that one. Coma down. Ooh, narrow shot on the EQ. Coma with the res on the Ding, keeping the Shanghai Dragons in it. Youngjin goes in, gets a little bit of shielding from connecting with those abilities. Oh, he gets killed by Poco, self-destruct though. Ding still picking up the kills, and now DM adding to the kill feed himself. Sleep Dart on the EQO. Can they finish him? They can, and Shanghai Dragons pushing through the end of B.
What a boss Coma was during that Valkyrie. He knew he had to come in and res Ding. So what he did was he got an elimination to get the res to prevent Philly from camping. They res him, immediately nano boosting, and then he just goes crazy.
Wow.
Very, very bold play by Coma, but necessary to take that point.
A lot of things just lining up perfectly for the Shanghai Dragons. Their execution has been so good. Gamsu on that Wrecking Ball now has his minefield available. Ding getting chased away, and now Philly getting aggressive. Trying to push through the door right there as Shanghai Dragons want to move towards the end of C.
Youngjin gets the pack.
12 HP, a little bit of health there. Neptuno looking to boop him off. He gets the shields. No, he doesn't. Oh, there it is. Rocket punch onto Neptuno. Meanwhile, back at the farm, Ding with the 2K barrage. That payload's going to move.
Yeah, wow, Youngjin, barely any HP, turns the fight around. Now they're going to have that Meteor Strike on the Doomfist. So a couple support ultimates available to them as well. DM now playing the Hanzo, and we do see Carpe over to Sombra.
Hanzo definitely the better close quarter sniper. Jumps out onto Poco, just going for the D-Mech a little bit before retreating to his team. Couldn't get the damage done. Nano boost on the DM. Wow, the faith and the accuracy, and it is well placed as Neptuno, the first victim there. DM's gonna build that Dragon Strike so fast too. That's part of it. Sato a little bit low health, and now he's no health as he gets finished off by DM again. Carpe does get the kill onto Luffy though. So Shanghai, did I say they were in trouble? Maybe not so much. Youngjin down now. Neptuno coming up big on that Lucio to try to keep this payload stalled.
Dragon Strike gonna be used right now, but it gets eaten.
Whoa! Eaten by Poco. And Carpe with the 3K, the 4K! And Philly with the defense, just about 35 seconds remaining for Shanghai.
And they're going to make a desperation swap now. I'm not sure about this. Going to the Reinhardt 3-3 this late.
Carpe.
Certainly a risk. And we're going to take a look at Carpe clicking some heads or SMGing some heads.
Yeah, it works out. 1, 2, 3, and a 4. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Carpe.
In for sight now up. Carpe can buy the rest of the time they need.
The final push for Shanghai Dragons. They got to get it done now. The hack on the Carpe. Carpe gets taken up by DM's right click in the end. Oh, but Youngjin is down. Philadelphia Fusion 2v1 so far in the kills. Gamsu with the nano boost. Maybe he can push forward here. Or no, he's just powerful. He's just strong. He just looks boosted all the time. But DM down, and Philadelphia Fusion, they put the nano boost onto Sato. Primal Rage, and Shanghai can't get there. The Philadelphia Fusion stop them in C.
That they do. So Philadelphia Fusion holding in the end. Shanghai can't quite power through despite the picks on the Hanzo from DM.
Wow, close affair, but Shanghai Dragons can't quite push the payload across the finish line. And the door has been opened for Philadelphia Fusion to tie this series and send us to that tiebreaker control map.
Philly always that heart attack team. Sending you to map 5. And they do it again today as they have so many times before.
What a great series to start the day with.
Yeah, really
I love
fun. It. Individual skill certainly on display here from both of these teams.
Yeah.
Great to see the Widowmaker duel that we were hoping for come to life.
Yeah, and it's been back and forth too. You know, DM definitely having the edge early on in this series, but Carpe coming up clutch at the end here.
Very nice cleanup for him.
Yeah.
As we take a look, what compositions are we going to get here? Very curious what the defensive plan is for the Shanghai Dragons.
Yeah, the pressure's got to be so high for these guys right now. Shanghai really, really wants to make the playoffs, obviously, and they're the defenders in the scenario. I mean, they are on the map right now, too, but they're the defenders in the standings. They're the ones that have that 8th place spot.
Right.
They don't want to lose it.
Would it be sweet for the Shanghai Dragons to make back-to-back stage playoffs after their disastrous year in 2018?
Yeah. I mean, they made the right moves in the offseason, right? Basically,
Absolutely.
completely replaced the roster, and yeah, you got to say the new squad is working out pretty well.
Definitely made a lot of savvy acquisitions. They have been rewarded for it.
Yeah. Philly on the attack here. They're going for the pick comp again. Double sniper. Roadhog Arisa.
Yeah, they want to run the bunker buster. They know Shanghai has been preferring to bunker up themselves.
Yeah.
The difference is there is going to be a Pharah here on the side of the Shanghai Dragons, providing that damage from behind the Arisa barrier. Have to be careful though. Carpe's been good at taking the Pharah out of the sky.
Yeah, he does not miss very often. It's dangerous for that pharmacy to show their faces here. Payload stalled out a little bit near the choke. Oh, it does actually get through it. Shanghai giving some serious ground. Boombox with the kill on the Youngjin though. Youngjin gets res. Dangerous move for Koma, but he survives. Now Boombox takes a breather here. And no hook with that one. Has to deal with the far mercy combo. Ding finds the kill into EQO. Neptuno there with the res. They're so good. Keeping these mercies alive. Boombox down. Ding with the fast barrage. Youngjin following it up, though Ding goes down. But Youngjin with the 2K, so Shanghai holding for now.
Yeah, they are going to clean this up. Mercy used by, the Valkyrie rather, used by Neptuno to try and keep his teammates alive, but the DMAC happens so quickly.
Yep.
And now we see, of course, the res cooldown once again up for Koma, who's been playing some very aggressive Mercy when it comes to making these resurrections happen, but they have yielded great benefits for the Dragons.
Yeah, but these guys have been finding the right reses. It's tough to do that at the pro level. All right, Nanoboost on the Youngjin, gets a whole hog, gets a kill on the Carpe here. That's enough.
Yeah, stacking Carpe with the hook. And
whoa, Boombox.
DM takes him out
right through you, yeah.
before Boombox can finish his ride over to Youngjin.
Dirty kill stealer. That was my stat.
Well,
Carpe, uh-oh, okay.
Rez is gonna be back up.
Yeah, should be getting it. Koma finds that one. A lot of ultimates for Philly though right now.
Now they've been banking quite a bit here. You'd think they'd be able to push through based on this ult economy.
Yeah,
if
but
they get a pick with Infrasight, they can also just cut the formation of the Dragons in half with the Dragon Strike.
Shanghai's taking a lot of time off the clock already though. Philly needs to get this payload moving. Oh, Carpe looking for the sneaky shot from down below. Boombox down though. Boopy the one finishing him off. And the Shanghai Dragons get that 6v5, but look at this, Ding with another kill on top of that. And Philadelphia Fusion, despite the ultimate struggling here, Reds comes in for EQO, but Ding brought up as well. And now the whole hog for Youngjin gets anti-healed. Oh, Poco with the 2 kill. But Philly can't push the payload.
There's still 4 members of the Dragons after the 2K goes down. Koma with another resurrection on the Ding. Opens up opportunities. Philly look like they may be running out of gas here. They can break the barrier with the Roadhog ultimate, but that's it. They're going to get delayed too by the Infrasight. This is buying time. This Infrasight is buying time for Luffy and Youngjin to get back on the defense. They're running back from spawn, and they are now returned with the rest of their squad.
Less than a minute. Playoff spot on the line. Philly needs to win this map to keep their hopes alive. Shanghai could punch their ticket right here, right now, in just about 30 seconds if they can defend. Raj for Ding. Backs away. Ooh, the healing there just in time. Boombox clearing some space out with the whole hog. The Roadhog ultimate. Doing a little bit of work. Shanghai giving ground.
Yeah, they're going to back off just behind the fountain. Nano boost used. Ding is going to try and do some work with the Pharah.
Needs a big barrage. Oh, he gets Boombox. Is it enough? It might be enough. We'll see. 10 seconds remaining, and there's the kill on the Sato and the Poco. The Shanghai Dragons have done it. They have successfully defended their spot unless there's some insane heroics coming in, this is it. Sato back on the payload. He did get rezzed, but Philadelphia Fusion, I don't know. Neptuno gets one though. Komis killing the ding, and there goes Sato again. The res is not there this time, and Philadelphia Fusion slowly falling, and the Shanghai Dragons with a kill on the Carpe have done it. They are going to the Stage 3 playoffs.
Shanghai Dragons seal the series, and they will end their stage 5-2, heading up to 12-9 overall on the season.
Wow, it was a battle from start to finish, and for a moment there, it really looked like Philly was going to be able to bring it back, but the stalwart defense from the Dragons wins the day in the end.
They are just so good at running the Roadhog with Youngjin and playing around the sidelines, DM and Ding.
Yep.
The Pharah and the Widowmaker.
You saw Carpe and DM embracing at the end there, of course. Two good friends coming up as pros together in the scene, finally getting to face off, and it was a great series. But the Shanghai Dragons get the win today.
You see DM getting ready right now.
Yep.
Have a chat with Danny in just a moment.
Gonna let that adrenaline fall away just a little bit there. What an end to that series. How crazy. Let's send it down to Danny, who's standing by with DM for some thoughts on that series.
Monty Dua, thank you very much. I am standing right next to DM from Shanghai Dragons. Atlanta, make some noise for DM. That was some fun match. Fun Widow v Widow. This was the first time Carpe went against DM versus Carpe. And actually, DM, when you were doing your walkout, you threw some shade. You showed some disrespect to your best friend Carpe. Can you actually explain what was going on? Why did you decide to do that little show for everybody? 자, 오늘 입장하실 때 조그맣게 뭘 하셨죠? 그거 좀 살짝 좀 보여주세요. 어떻게 했는지. Can you show us on cam? What was that? 그 뭐였나요? 설명 좀 해주세요.
원래는 그냥 가르치기만 하려 했는데 이제 좀 뒤쪽에서 밑으로 내리라고 또 막 추가해서 하라 해서 그냥 했습니다.
So initially, when I was doing my walkout, my plan was to actually just point at Carpe, but then our staff and everyone on the team was like, hey, you should go a little bit further, point, and then put your finger down to assert your dominance. So that's what I did. Well, talking about asserting your dominance, I'm actually going to, give some time to assert more dominance to Carpe. Do you have any message for Carpe that you just defeated? 자, 카르페를 위해서 방금 좀 패배의 쓴맛을 느낀 카르페 선수에게 한마디.
이제 카르페 DM이 아니라 DM 카르페라고 불러주세요.
Alrighty, as of right now, a lot of people are saying Carpe DM, but since I won, now please everybody make it DM Carpe, not Carpe DM. Alrighty, and also DM and Shanghai Dragons, with today's win, you guys are going to Stage 3 Finals. Yeah, baby! What are you going to do this time around so that you guys could actually win Stage 3 Playoffs? 자, 이번에 Stage 3 프로 승리를 위해서, 우승을 위해서 이번에는 좀 어떻게 하실 생각이신가요?
팀적으로는 이제 그냥 다 잘하다 보니까 저만 더 잘 쏘면 된다고 생각합니다.
So our Shanghai team is amazing. Everyone plays great. So in order for us to win Stage 3 playoffs, I just have to click more heads. Thank you so much, DM. Back to you guys, casters.
And there you go. Just click heads. It's so easy.
It's so easy.
Who knew?
Why didn't I think of that?
I don't know. I should take that to my rank games. I'll just start clicking heads from now on. Thank you, DM. And like you said earlier, you can go DM Carpe. Apparently it's okay in Latin. Hey,
word order in Latin doesn't matter.
There you go.
There you go. It makes sense. We'll go DM Carpe from now on for sure.
Let's take a look at some highlights from the third and the fourth maps in that series in Hollywood. Hollywood was really all Philly, right? I mean, they looked so good on this map, and that's when you started thinking, all right, maybe we're going to get that reverse sweep.
Yeah, it was a short-lived hope, though.
It was.
After we saw the full hold there on Dorado coming in from the Shanghai Dragons. And what this means for the Dragons is very interesting. So they're going to be taking the 8th seed in our stage playoffs. And it depends on how well New York does later today. If New York wins, which would be the expected result, they will face New York in the first round. And in fact, I think that they would probably prefer that if they were the Dragons rather than trying to face the Vancouver Titans, which is their other possible opponent.
I'd agree. Sometimes I feel like we've seen New York kind of struggle a little bit against against the Sombra. And when someone can throw New York off their game early, the series oftentimes kind of goes their way. That said, it's tough to do that. New York wins a lot, but in the playoffs, New York isn't usually the same New York we're used to in the regular season.
And also, Dallas nearly beat the NYXL using a lot of these spam compositions. Think about what we saw from the Shanghai Dragons playing today. Junkrat, Widowmaker, these are tools that were used by Dallas to take New York to Game 5. And the Shanghai Dragons are a better team.
Fair point. Let's revisit that great Carpe Diem matchup that we saw
Diem
today.
Carpe.
Obviously, yeah, it's Diem Carpe now. Yeah, I mean, and you can see why. Diem definitely winning the numbers game and winning the actual game as well.
Yeah, I think it was really fun to watch that matchup on the hero mirror that we wanted to see. This series certainly delivered. I think these guys have long and bright futures in the Overwatch League.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to be treated to this matchup hopefully many more times.
I mean, if you look at those stats, too, like both of them did really well. They're both obviously phenomenal Widowmaker players, but the more of that 1v1 we get, the better. Just so long as Sato doesn't jump in the middle on the Orisa again. Like, just stay out of it, man. Like,
yeah, Sato Gatsu, get out of there.
I'm like the dude in Godzilla. I'm like, let them fight. Yeah, that's what I want to see. They're definitely the king of the monster DPS here in the Overwatch League. What a great series to start the day with, though. And we've got 3 more to go, guys. Like, so do not go anywhere. We're in the venue, on the stream, on the moon. Let's take a look at our standings, though. And it is all locked up as far as playoffs go. Shanghai Dragons, like we said, getting that 8th place spot.
But what's not locked up is where NYXL land. A loss today would put them in the 2nd seed as opposed to the 1st seed.
Yeah.
So we will see how that goes. NYXL, they've had a very easy schedule this stage, so I do think they are a little bit overrated right now. You might say, wow, 7-0, but they're in the Atlantic Division, which has been easier, and they've had a very weak strength of schedule. So they really need to step up, I think, in the playoffs. And I think Shanghai presents a very legitimate threat to New York.
Yeah. I mean, the New York that we saw last year in the Overwatch League was a New York that appeared in like all of the stage playoffs and won 2 of them. Not so great so far in playoffs for them this time around. Let's look at the season standings overall. You can see New York, only 2 losses on the season, and I got a shout out in the series. You know who they lost to, guys? They lost the Atlanta Reign. That's right. Their only 2 losses this season are to the team, the home team right here. Obviously, Titans still killing it up on top, though only 1 loss all season for them.
Yeah, Dragons and Fusion, though, really fighting to get in that top 6 right now. Dragons now 1 step closer. Those are the guaranteed season playoff seeds. Otherwise, if you're not in that top 6, if you're 7 through 12, you have to fight in a tournament at the end of stage 4 in order to get top 2 and take the 7th and 8th overall seeds.
Yeah, that's right. So just because you don't make that top 8, you've still got a bit of a shot, or that top 6 rather. You still have a bit of a shot. It's just you kind of run through this extra gauntlet to kind of get there.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard because if teams like the Valiant continue their role, I wouldn't want to face the Valiant right now in any kind of season playoff play-in at their current level of strength.
Yeah.
So just getting the safety of the top 6, you'll be feeling a lot better.
Let's take a look at our player of the match by Omen, by HP. It is the one, the only. Who else could it be? It's going to be Diem. That's right. This guy killing it in the Widow 1v1 and just kind of destroying Philadelphia in general. Those first 2 maps especially.
I think this was a hard one because we saw so much individual talent on display. Obviously, Diem, especially on Volskaya, popped off. But Youngjin, also huge on the hog throughout this series, in spite of the fact that he didn't even play in map 1. That was Envy.
Yeah,
but also Coma was really good.
You know, you can be good, as Youngjin was in most series. You cause a Cloud9. I don't know, you cause a C9, I should say. You're not going to get that player of the match. I'm sorry, that exempts you right there. Let's take a look at Diem's stats here at the end. Pretty good scope crit accuracy. I'd take that if I was trying to play Widowmaker.
Yeah, very good, especially considering how much he played Widowmaker across the series. It wasn't just one pop-off moment, 18 limbs, 10 of them solo. So pretty good stuff right there. 31 final blows overall.
Yeah, that's right. Just a ridiculous amount of hero damage done, actually, for Widowmaker as well. And I mean, the thing is, at the end of the day, this is a Shanghai Dragons team that continues to just sort of build and build, it seems like. And like we talked about during the series after, those off-season pickups are really what makes the difference, right? Obviously, you go in 40, you got to make some roster changes.
Got to make some changes there.
I think they made the right changes there. That's right. So what do you see as kind of the future for Shanghai, man? If they can get past New York, what do you think for the playoffs?
I like the fact that they've reinvented themselves. Last stage, they were almost exclusively a Sombra 3-2-1 team, but now we're seeing so many different looks that they're throwing out there, able to use some 2-2-2 compositions like we saw today very effectively. And so now you have to be worried about both things when you're facing off against the Shanghai Dragons.
Yeah, we're seeing such a change in the league overall right now with the meta finally shifting away from just goats, just 3-tank, triple support, and teams sort of embracing that. Teams like the Valiant, Houston Outlaws coming up, Shanghai Dragons, I feel like, now really getting unlocked by the ability to run DM and Ding on all these DPS heroes. So future is looking bright for a lot of these teams. It's just like, dare I say it, a more entertaining version of Overwatch. I'm happy about this as well.
I like having the mix, actually. Like,
well, you know, 3-3 is a cool comp.
Yes.
You just need more than that, you know. Well, don't
I like
guys.
variety
like
is the spice of life.
It is indeed. Shanghai Dragons versus Guangzhou Charge coming up next,
Washington
guys.
Justice versus Guangzhou
Oh,
Charge.
right. Yeah, I'm just, you know, I just want to watch Shanghai all day. I can't help it. A little bit of a owl leagueian slip there, but it happens. Washington Justice versus Guangzhou Charge coming up next, guys. Don't go anywhere. Mitch and Matt are laughing at us off camera, but that's okay. It'll be their turn next, guys. Don't worry.
We will laugh at them soon.
Haha, that's right. Don't go anywhere, guys. Next match is coming up after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.